Well, good morning. Welcome to the Living in the Tennessee Bottoms. It's Saturday morning. You can tell by the clear sky in the background. No fluffy white clouds floating around. When you see a sky like that, it means it's the dog days of summer is coming. It's getting ready to crank up and get hot. It ain't getting ready. Yesterday here was 95, and by lunch it was terrible. So this morning, I just want to get out here early, show you what's going on in the garden. It's been a little while. Let me pan around here and show you a few things. You can see right here, it's where the onions was and the potatoes. We dug our red potatoes a few weeks ago. Haven't dug the white potatoes yet. Still learning about this process. I noticed on top of the ground, some of them you can see they're still greenish. We're going to hold back until they die back more. I'm beginning to wonder here on the red potatoes. Remember I asked you to give us any comments. I'm thinking what happened here on the red potatoes, and I could be wrong, which I know my wife finds hard to believe. But anyway, that's a different story. The red potatoes, I'm beginning to see, if you see this gap right here between the trees, when you look down there where the white potatoes are, and you got a tree blocking that. I'm beginning to wonder if some overspray didn't come over, which is natural. Farmers can't help it. They got to make a living, and they're out here working hard. Our farmers next door, great people. They've never really have oversprayed anything on us. You know, we really respect them. Think a lot of them, good neighbors. You know, so things do happen, but that may not be the case. It could be something totally different. Could be something I've done, like right here where the watermelons was. This back row. Well, I'm pointing the wrong way. Let me get you over here where we can see. All right. On this back row, we planted watermelons. Let's walk out here for a minute. Well, Einstein here decided, can you see anything right there? Me and this selfie stick just are not getting along. Anyway, let me get it up here. Let me get back a little further. The back row back here was watermelons, and we had a good stand going. They were about 2 inches tall. Well, I decided I needed to spray down here with our weed killer, and you can see where it's killed the weeds back. But when I was spraying this, guess what? I was right over here on a four-wheeler with a long hose, and I was spraying back this direction. Well, right now, here comes the wind. Kind of got a northeast wind, northwest wind here, and it pushed it right back on top of the watermelon row right here. Kind of killed some back. Well, I thought, well, I can save them. I'll dig them up, and lo and behold, you see my wife, Miss Libby. She hoed that one there yesterday, but I don't see any more on this road, none whatsoever. So we've about to come to the conclusion. We don't know if we're going to plant any more watermelon or not. You see where I've tilled all this right here. It's where the onions was, grass bed. It was terrible. And we will get back on the story of the tillers. I promise you that, and I will. Now you see right over here, I've got a separate video started I was going to show later on. Miss Libby loves pumpkins, and fall of the year is her favorite. She'll start decorating in July. I'm just kidding. But she loves fall. And here, we have pumpkins, big ones, some smaller ones, and then at the very end we have Indian corn. Never planted Indian corn. I know this corn right here, which don't she look good this morning? I mean, she looks good. Wind blowing, she getting big, I'm just proud as I can be of it, you know. But here, this corn had to have at least 4 rows to pollinate. It didn't say anything about the Indian corn down there. But you can see right here, good Lord is blessing us today. She is jumping up leaps and bounds. I am ready for some, but I think this here, we got a late plan on it. It will probably be middle of July, the earliest, probably maybe later, I don't know. You can see where we've tilled down through here, done some maintenance. It was really, really bad. You see here, I'm probably pointing you at the sky. Me and this selfie stick, we're gonna have a talk, okay? Let me get down here on the handle so I can hold it a little better. These are the flower seeds that we bought from Lowe's, and I got a bag down yonder that says the name on it. And here was the other row right here, and it was supposed to be beautiful wildflowers growing up in the garden and all this other good stuff. I noticed when I was planting it was awful, the seeds was awful fine, and didn't realize it was grass seed with a few flower seeds in it. So it got almost knee high, and we started noticing here on our okra, and over here on our cucumbers and our squashes right there. We started noticing they was getting they was really getting eaten up. And well, we'd use 7 dust, which is good. It's okay to use on them. But when I got out here yesterday and said, I am done with this. I got the handy dandy lawnmower, jumped on her, raised the deck up, went down through here about 5 times, and then I blew it all up toward the okra. My lesson last year, I blew it up toward our beans, and we had grass in our beans all year. But I braked it back as I blew it off up against there. You would not believe when I started cutting this, it looked like a horror movie of all the bugs coming out of this grass, which is a common sense factor. Well, you can see right here in this grass right here, there is one little flower coming up out of it. Maybe a couple more coming out down there. Yeah, but this was just a bed for insects to eat everything else they wanted out of our garden. You can see that the holes here, what they had done, but you can see how bright and green it is now. We have a few blooms coming on our okra, if I can find one here. Seen them yesterday. They may have done went away and forming okra. But back to the bug thing, I think we have accomplished what we needed to get our garden back on track. I was kind of walking around trying to look for a bloom. When the okra starts getting ready to pot, oh, right there. Can you see right there? See that pretty little bloom right there? Then our bees will be coming to pollinate everything else. But we're back on track now. You can see why I tilled down through the rows. Got here last night, ran the sprinkler system after about 5:30. Give you a little walkthrough over here. These here are our pole beans, which I've got to run some more strings all the way down. That's the reason they call them pole beans. They grow up on the strings and hose them up. These here are our top pick purple hull peas, and they produce right on the top instead of the bottom. Now you can see here these are our better boy tomatoes. We kind of got out here yesterday and restrung them back up, but man, they are just loaded on the bottom underneath here. I can't get down with the camera to show you. You can see a few up in here, but up underneath in all that shade, we've got some good ones coming along. Down here we go into a celebrity and another type of tomato, which I couldn't find my staples. My name tags were stuck in the ground. Once again, I procrastinated. These over here on this side I'm walking next to, I'm gonna turn you around here. These are German Johnson tomatoes. So many of them are. I think we have some, I can't pronounce the name, Roman, whatever tomatoes, right in here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm thinking right down here might be a different type of tomato. I should be able to find those. My dog hears me barking. That's Spring. You've heard her before, you know, so good girl, good girl. But you can see what we got going on here. We'll let you know as the time goes by what we got in different breeds. We've already picked some, they look good. I'll get you over here. These are, right here we have a few cayenne peppers. They're on the bottom. Now right here is our mammoth I was telling you about. Look at that puppy right there and that one right there. These are supposed to get 2 inches in diameter and like 4 inches long. But believe it or not, down here on the very end, we picked, I think some of these are cayenne. I think we have a few bell pepper, sweet pepper. We have banana peppers. We got banana peppers up in here. They are producing some. As the heat cranks up, everything in the garden will crank up. The peppers will start producing, tomatoes start turning red. Now down here is our jalapeno. These were giant jalapeno. We had regular jalapeno last year. And we just picked off one down here off this little beauty of a plant here yesterday. It was bigger than our mammoth. You can see a little jalapeno forming right there. Then there's more on here in different places. Oops, sorry about that. Got away from me. Yeah, you can see some right down here. There's some jalapeno right there that's forming. If I dig up in there, there'll be some more. And once they start producing, they really produce. Wife makes, I think, jalapeno jelly, or I forgot what she calls it, but it is good. She'll give you the recipe up on it. Don't forget to turn into Miss Libby on our page. Got another good hair day on here. Just glad to have a little bit. Miss Libby has got some great recipes. Today, she is in there making sweet pickles. Man, we picked a boatload of cucumbers yesterday. Picked a whole lot of squash. We'll probably put some of that up, freeze it. But the cucumbers, she's doing a different recipe this year. Last year she done a freezer one where you just cut them up, put them in a jar. I don't know how. You're gonna have to ask the cook. But today she is doing her first time, I don't know if it is not, regular pickles that you put some type of lime stuff, and I don't know. But she'll have all the directions on it. And I guarantee if it's coming out of Miss Libby's kitchen, you are going to like it. I ain't never seen nothing I didn't like. If I didn't say so, no. Yeah, but it's always been good. When it's cooked with loving hands, don't matter how it comes out, it's good. All right, and all you men out there, y'all can say amen to that one. Okay, so I believe I'll give you a pretty good tour this morning of what's going on. You see we got some hoeing to do right here. But we've been working at church. We've added on 2 new rooms at church. And we have been tied up. That's where we're heading this morning. We're getting ready to head up this morning. We should have been there 2 hours ago. That's how it is on a farm. You are never ahead of the clock, seems like. But we're going to go to the church, paint. We got 2 new Sunday school rooms, nice ones, added on to our fellowship hall. We're adding on to our sanctuary. And it takes time. But to give a good shout out for the good Lord, let me tell you something you can never go wrong at. And that is, you take time out for the good Lord and he'll make the clock stand still. This garden is not going anywhere. The weeds ain't going to grow any faster. The corn is not going to get any bigger without me standing here watching over it. Yeah, I got things I need to do, but when I get back, it's still going to be here. God's work will be done, and he'll make this go twice as easy. That's something I just can't get some people to explain. Like, man, I had this job, and it had to be done, and it was out so-and-so, and I had to work Sunday. Now, sometimes I'm going to give the farmer a shout out here. Man, when the ground is right, you got to get in there. The little good Lord tells you, if your ox is in a ditch, get them out. So when the conditions are right for their farm, the dirt's right, the water's right, you know, rain's coming in. A lot of times the rain will be, like today, if you look across yonder, it just rained. Let me get this up here. I think Monday we were saturated, and today you can almost drive a nail end over yonder. It's dry. You can see this ground right here. I had a sprinkler on it last night. You can see parts of it. It's a high sandy soil, and it really dries out quick. So yes, they have to do what needs to be done, and we all have things in our life. It has priorities sometimes. It has to be done. But 99% of the time, if you just listen to what the good Lord says, go ahead, go to church. He's got a message for you. More than likely, Satan's trying to get you not to go to church. There's something God wants you to hear that day. And when you get there, no matter how bad you felt, no sleep, whatever, you will be blessed. I know I have been over and over and over. But anyway, just wanted to show you what was going on this morning, give you a little turnaround here, show you what's happening. We're getting ready to head out. Miss Libby is going to be putting her cucumbers online. I don't know today, We told you Thursdays and Saturdays. That's the reason I came out here. I didn't have a video prepared for today. I actually wanted to talk to you about that red piece of thing sitting down there. You know, I told you I would talk about the garden tillers in another video, which I am. I've got some Infamo pulled up. I just used this Craftsman out here that the brother-in-law was so gracious to let me borrow. And buddy, she walked the dog. I mean, I am just tickled with it and everything. Got to clean her up, got to check the oil on her and everything. But just stay tuned. We appreciate your comments. We do try to answer to all the comments. If we haven't, we will get to you, all right? And we always appreciate your input. I mean, I'm open door for anything, because the day you quit learning, my granddaddy used to say, the day you quit learning, son, you might as well put you in the ground. And I'm not ready to go in the ground yet. Like to have a few more years of Miss Libby in there. So give us your comments, good, bad, whatever it may be. We can roll with the flow, okay? Hit that subscribe button. We sure do appreciate you. And stay tuned, and we'll be back with another video in a short. God bless you.